the recent passing of the former president Muhammadu Buhari offers Nigeria a moment of reflection, not just on the life and legacy of one of our most prominent political figures, but also on the direction of leadership, accountability, and democratic governance in today's Nigeria. As the nation mourns, it also questions, what did Buhari truly represent? What did he get right, and where did he fall short? And more importantly, what can Nigerians, young and aspiring leaders, learn from his time in power? Meanwhile, Nigeria's political atmosphere is heating up right now. We are witnessing the rise of new coalitions, alliances formed across party lines in the name of change, reform, or perhaps self-preservation. But we must ask, are these coalitions truly different, or are they simply new color on old walls? On today's episode of Generations Gist with Joy, we explore Buhari's impact, the civic lesson for the next generation, and the deeper meaning behind the emerging political movements shaping Nigeria today. I will bring you all of this and more right after the break. I am your host, Joy Onu. See you shortly. Stay tuned.
The world is no longer a global village. It is a neighborhood. Generations come and go, but the gist they start lingers. The platform that sustains those gists is here. Be a participation on Generation Gist with Joy. From policymakers to politicians, medical personnel to traders, labor leaders to students, the young and the old. It's Generations Gist with Joy.
It's your generation, it's my generation, it's our generation.
Come, let's tag along on Generation Gist with Joy. Please join us.
Welcome back. Today we reflect on a defining figure in Nigeria's modern history, the late President Muhammadu Buhari. To some, he was a disciplined patriot, to others, a symbol of missed democratic opportunities. What leadership lesson does his legacy leave behind? What should younger Nigerians, the future of our democracy, learn from his time in power? And as new political coalitions form across the country, are we witnessing a new political awakening, or just recycling structures repackaged for the times? Joining us to help unpack this question is someone deeply rooted in Nigeria's democratic journey, a civil society leader, accountability advocate, and voice for good governance. He is the chairman of Partners for Electoral Reforms, convener of the Say No campaign, and a board member of Yaga Africa. He served as a civil society delegate at the 2014 National Conference. He is a recipient of the Gani Fawemi Outstanding Integrity Award and was recently conferred the National Honor of Member of the Federal Republic, MFR, for his commitment to democratic development and public accountability. Please join me in welcoming to the show Mr. Ezenwa Nwagwu.
Thank you. Good to have you.
Mr. Nwagwu, you are welcome to this show, and this is Generations Gist with Joy. And today, Mr. Nwagwu, been at the corridor of political activities in Nigeria for a long time, over 2 decades now. What do you think is the leadership and legacy of former President Muhammadu Buhari late? What do you think is the lesson, and in your own view, what do you think people should learn from it?
In understanding the late General Muhammadu Buhari, you have to understand his two incarnations. He came the first time, reincarnated again. And so when you are discussing General Muhammadu Buhari, you have to first talk about his first incarnation as a military
head of state.
Mm-hmm. What kind of dynamics played at that time? Mm-hmm. The dynamics was one that it was an authoritarian, absolutist government. He rose to power through a coup d'etat and imposed an idea, a worldview of honesty, integrity, and discipline. Between that interregnum, anybody who lived within that period will bear witness. If you had granules, you will hold the pebble until you find a dustbin. You can't throw it. If you wanted to ease yourself, you find somewhere to do that. The culture, the queue culture that we have in banks today and in most bus stops across the country was a legacy of the Buhari period. Today, if you go to the bank and try to, when it's not your turn, the resentment that you get, that was not what it used to be.
Okay.
It used to be that you get to the bank, if you knew anybody, you enter, find your way, get what you want. Today, whether you like it or not, in any bank in Nigeria, you have to queue. In some of the most difficult bus stops in states like Lagos, for those of us who have some understanding of what it is, Oyigbo CNS, Oyigbo, Orile, Mile 2, used to be the most chaotic bus stops in Lagos. Till today, if you go to Oyigbo, you will see queue going to different areas. People still have maintained that. So, and then what kind of economy worldview did they have? They had an economic worldview that was autochthonous, that was inward looking. They were not ready to play with the IMF and the World Bank. That led, in fact, to one of the reasons why he was kicked out. Because at that time, the IMF and the World Bank were trying to impose loans on Nigeria. By the time he was kicked out of government by the General Babangida, they took the loan. They put us in an endless debate, if you remember, of discussing whether we will take IMF loan or not take IMF loan, and eventually went and took the loan, for which necessitated riots across the country in 1989. So, by the time of his second reincarnation, he was coming as a civilian president of the country, who now will not have to give orders. You have to negotiate. You have to talk to the National Assembly. You have to engage the National Assembly for you to pass bills. You can't order judges. Any attempt at doing that, people will remind him that he's no longer the military head of state that he was. So on the first incarnation, he left a legacy of discipline, unquestionable patriotism through the Y Brigade and the rest of them. In the second, the dynamics have changed. So the persona with which, the lens with which people were looking at Buhari in the second reincarnation, he can't be that, because the governors are not his schoolboys that he can order around. There is separation of powers, and the federating units, the states as federating units, were not accountable to him. So that's redefined. But even at that, you will see a man who held his own in terms of his pattern outlook to life. The jamboree that the villa used to be before he came, all of that, people had to even, before he came, it used to be a party. But all of that, we saw some sanity in terms of what happened within the power corridor, at least in Abuja.
But there are others that says that during Buhari's tenure, this second coming, there was a lot of corruption. I don't know whether the first discipline, like you said, was not carried out the second tenure. So a lot of people said that there was a lot of hardship, a lot of corruption during his time.
We didn't come to Buhari from nowhere. Okay? We came from folks who had run the country for 16 years. Okay. Don't forget, Buhari took over from people who have run the country for 16 years, and you lived in that 16 years. If they had built in pillars, foundational, strong enough foundational pillars, you would not have some of those crises that you are talking about. So this kind of conversation puts you in a place where you are defending or you are supporting, and I really have difficulty.
So in essence, you are saying that he set the pace for Tinubu's administration.
He didn't set the pace. There where Obasanjo was there. Obasanjo had already got into privatization, and commercialization. And it is privatization and commercialization that brought the hardship. They were implementing it in phases until it got to where we are now.
But there's this school of thought also, and we are all Nigerians.
It is me you are talking to. I'm not representing that your school of thought. My school of thought. You invited me to share my school of thought.
View.
My school of thought is that the governments that handed over to Buhari were corrupt. You knew the issue of putting 400 million on top of National Assembly on national television. Galinaba. Have you forgotten? That was said to be money used to bribe National Assembly members. Did you forget the issue of third term and all that played around it? Okay? Did you forget the issue of somebody coming out to say, if you electoral corruption, to be clear that look, if this thing is a do or die for me. That is what these people inherited. So the expectation is that they will take a different trajectory. What we discuss in Nigeria is the neck, the eye of the leader. We don't discuss their policies. Joy, I'm recommending that you go study the economic policy direction that we have followed from 1999 till today. Whether there is any material difference in terms of economic outlook. Everybody, both in 2023, all the candidates had agreed that they will sell our common patrimony. Everything will be sold to who? To private individuals.
Is it sale or privatization?
Privatization means take what we own together and sell it to your cronies at a reduced rate. We use government money to build hospitals, equip them, and then you suddenly say, oh, government has no business in business. Those of you who went to school will say, oh, government.
Yeah, because if you actually look at these things, I'm not defending anybody, I'm asking you a question. Like the telecommunication, we used to have Nitel, that was government running it. We used to have one or two things like that, government running it. But when we had private ones who are also paying taxes,
you can't outsource inefficiency as so because they are inefficient, then let us, we move to. You can use your telecom, but I'm telling you about hospitals today. Can the majority of your citizens go to what you call public hospitals that were built with public money? Do you understand what I'm saying? So if today we build hospital, we use our resources, taxes, we are what was used to build this hospital, then you concession it to private people. Okay? Even when it was not private, when you employ the same people, doctors, when you come to meet them in the public hospital, they refer you to their own private hospital. So government decided to sell.
Privatize.
I don't like that word. Sell. They sold those places to them, and then they are running it in the way that without feeling for the majority of the citizens. That's what causes the pain now. So today, if you have money, even if you go to a public hospital, you are paying the same thing that you ordinarily would pay in a private hospital. You get what? So you said remove subsidy, remove subsidy from agric, don't fund. The people who are telling you that fund their own agric, they buy up from their own farmers.
Okay, for what you are saying now, Buhari have been described as a disciplined patriot, like you are saying, in his first tenure as a military administrator, and others see him as a missed democratic opportunity. Is that your honest statement?
We have missed democratic opportunities before Buhari. I said some people, didn't we have democracy before? What did we have before Buhari? No, what did we have?
Democracy.
So you truly thought that we had democracy?
I'm asking you the question.
Where you'll be going to do election, okay? You'll be going for election, and the results of where you are voting will be announced. That's where we are coming from.
I didn't know that is how it was.
No, maybe you just came to Nigeria. The challenge we have is amnesia. Is that not remembering? And I like your conversation. You call it generational gist. So we must remind people.
Okay, I will come back to you after this short break. We will be right back after this short break.
The world is no longer a global village. It is a neighborhood. Generations come and go, but the gist they start lingers. The platform that sustains those gists is here. Be a participation on Generation Gist with Joy. From policymakers to politicians, medical personnel to traders, labor leaders to students, the young and the old. It's Generations Gist with Joy.
It's your generation, it's my generation, it's our generation.
Come, let's tag along on Generation Gist with Joy. Please join us.
You are welcome back, and we are still on Generations Gist with Joy, and my guest is Ezenwa Nwagwu. Like you were saying about electoral reform.
Yeah, I talked about the incremental progress that we have made. You know, sometimes we are very uncharitable to ourselves. And like I keep saying everywhere, we allow politicians to give us talking points, to tell us what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. And election is a very divisive, competitive enterprise, okay? Exactly. So when people lose election, they shout the loudest. Okay. They are the ones shouting. The people who win election don't get involved in any conversation. They start planning for power.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. And so the voice that you hear most times is the voice of the people who
lost election. And
once the Nigerian politician loses election, nothing is good. Nothing went well. And he never does any mirror analysis and say, me as a politician, what did I do wrong that probably has led to the outcome that I have? Okay? And many times people get confused because of that. Let me tell you something. In 2022, we added 10 million more people to our voter register.
Okay.
Under Buhari, it got to 84 million. Now that 93 point something million people had to do with what in INEC putting up what you call continuous voter registration process. That was what captured more and more people into the voting net. That is a significant progress. Now, participation in the electoral process is not just in election. If you participate in voter registration, you have participated in the electoral process. Now, coming to vote is called turnout. There are many reasons why people register. There are many people why people don't want to turn out.
Exactly.
Right? So that's one. Number two, many states, if you remember, Kano, Lagos, Benue, Rivers, the results of those states used to be the last to be released in any election, if you remember. In 2023, Kano did 7 million registered voters. It could not do 2.5 million. Lagos did 6 million votes. It could not do 2 million votes. Rivers did 3 million. It could not do 1.7 million. What do you think was responsible for that? And they were the first of the results that were released in 2023, BVAS, the biometric verification system that was introduced.
Okay, you've worked with youth organizations like platforms like Yaga Africa.
I'm in the board of Yaga.
You are in the board of Yaga Africa, and that means you worked with the youth because many of them are young people in Yaga Africa. So are young Nigerians more engaged politically today? You know, you just said not too young to run, people are encouraged and all those things. In your own view, are Nigerians, especially the young ones, are they encouraged to run for political position?
The first thing is to remove any legislative constitutional barriers. That barrier has been taken away. The next responsibility is for the political parties. The fact that you have a not too young to run act does not mean that you have to first belong to a political party. You have to show that you are relevant in that political party, irrespective of your age, and then you contest primaries. So the responsibility for expanding this net for young people, women, people living with disabilities is not a constitutional problem anymore. I don't know if you get it. It is now the challenge of internal party democracy. Now,
having said that, I remember a lot of people they don't trust voting system. They're like, I don't even want to vote. Even if I vote, it will not count. What do you think is responsible?
It's their own ignorance, and nobody can apologize for their ignorance. Why do I say so? Whether you vote, you come out to vote or not, if there are 1,000 people in the voter register, the system that we practice in Nigeria, if 200 people come to vote, do you understand what I'm saying? That 200 people will decide.
There are some places like the kiosk there, you know,
the kiosk, in that kiosk, the kiosk is manipulated by those who want to keep you away.
So what do you want them to do?
Listen, in Anambra, for instance, they have 2 something million in their voter register. Less than 500,000 people make a governor. After that, the governor runs for 4 years. Decides when you come out, when you don't come out, decides whether you can be a native doctor or you cannot be a native doctor.
Because those who are supposed to vote could not come out to vote.
No, these things are programmed by the politicians. Please, who perpetuates violence?
What should be done
Who perpetuates violence?
I don't know. Thugs?
By who? Thugs, just emerge. They are political thugs. Call them who they are. They are called political thugs. They work for somebody. Who corrupts the security from stopping them to arrest the political thugs? The politicians. We are not holding them accountable. Because we always want to dodge, and you know the reason why we dodge because we want to be SAs, we want to be minister, we want to be commissioner. So we don't like talking to the politicians.
Even if you do, will it work? Because it's those people that are actually
imagine that you are not talking. The concept of will it work is what holds us down. You invited me, I came, and I'm talking. There is consequence for what I say. I don't know if you understand, but I don't care about those consequences. I decide to use your platform to do public education. So, and you also created this platform to be able to open the eyes of people to see things differently.
So what should be done in this situation?
You are already doing what should be done. That's what I'm telling you. That you have provided a platform
to talk
for people who listen, who want to listen without biases. I don't know if you understand. You know, you can be listening to somebody and you already have your mind made up. But there are people who, when they listen, they say, okay, this is correct. I'm going to imagine that we are 1,000 who registered in a polling unit, and all of us 1,000 come out. Okay. Who can chase us? No, now who can chase us? The first thing is to create a siege mentality and say, if you come out, yes, we will kill you. What then happens?
And you'll be hearing gunshots.
No, you have not come out. You hear that gunshot in your imagination. No, it's in your imagination. Because on election day, there are no gunshots. Everybody is struggling to win. I don't know if you understand. The good, the bad. They don't want to disrupt voting, because at the end of the day, they may be the one benefiting. So sometimes what they do is, where they are weak, when they know, politicians know they are weak somewhere, they go and see whether they can disrupt that place, so that people there don't come out. But in many Nigerian communities, people have said, after you have shot the gun, they pursue both you and the one shooting. I don't know if you understand. I say we must vote today.
You risk your life. Communities
come out. What is the risk which life? Communities come out and say, today we are going to vote. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So the fear, the culture of fear, the culture of intimidation is a tool in the hand of politicians to make self-respecting people stay away from the political electoral environment, and through doing that, you shortchange yourself. I've observed the election nationally and internationally, in Africa and outside of Africa. I can tell you that where the citizens are determined, do you understand what I'm saying? The politicians respect them, but they first create. Let me tell you what's going to happen towards 2027. This 2027 election, it will be. It's the media that is creating that. It's the media that before the election, this 2027, there is already stockpile of arms. You call the person and say, go and show me where the arms have been stockpiled. He will say, somebody, I got a report and I have to protect my source. But the idea of talking about that stockpile of arms is to capture the imagination of people to be afraid.
You think it's the media?
See, we know how these things work. Everything I've told you now, put it on record.
Okay.
Be going through as we approach 2027. Watch the media. Who are the owners of the media? Who are the majority owners of the media? Politicians. The first thing they did was to get licenses. Okay? And opened both radio, TV, and they are dishing out talking points through those platforms. They hire talents, very creative talents, and turn them to marketers.
Okay, so Ezenwa, what reform must happen urgently to build trust in Nigeria's democracy, especially among the youth, and what do you think should be done? What do you think should be done for these youths who have lost faith?
Joy, there is no homogeneous youth. Youth is not a homogeneous category. You have Catholic youth, you have Anglican youth, you have Cherubim youth, you have youth living outside, you have youth living in rural areas, you have youth, Ibira youth.
So what would you tell them?
What I'm telling you, what would you tell them now? You want to talk about youth, don't use the youth that is loud on social media. Okay, in the majority of communities in Nigeria, young people are participating in the electoral process, in rallies, in political rallies, and the rest of them. So when you say build trust in the electoral process, you are recalling the voice of people who have plethora of accounts on social mehave and crowding the environment.
No, in your own view now, I want to have your own. What can you do? What I mean,
you ask me a question. I have to clear your presumption, because you are asking the question on a false presumption. I'm unpacking youth for you. That there is no one set of people called youth. You have APC youth, you have PDP youth, you have Labour youth. They don't speak the same language, and they don't respond to the same stimuli. Okay, so when you say build trust so that youth, explain to me which youth you are talking about.
Nigerian youth.
You cannot have that. You have to disaggregate, because the young people who are in the dominant political parties are also Nigerians, and they are youth. I don't know if you understand. They don't get disqualified from being youth because they belong to a political party you don't like. Okay, the youth in my village, they respond to a different kind of stimuli. They probably don't even care which party. They care about money. Okay, if you pay them, they vote for you. That's where they are now. So when you want me to discuss youth as a homogeneous category, I would not do that.
Okay, now let's go to this coalition. You know, we are seeing a rise in political coalitions. What do you think about this coalition? Are these coalitions genuinely different, or they are old one in a new bottle?
I really refrain from, conversations that I think are distracting from the real issue. There are 19 political parties, 18 political parties in Nigeria. There are no opposition individuals. There are opposition parties. Okay? So if you are unhappy in your party and you want to form another alliance, you are not discussing policy. You are not telling me that I am leaving because the government is pursuing an economic policy that I don't like.
I think that's what they are saying.
No, there is no conversation about economic policy that we don't like. What they are saying is that first, there are internal party problems. In the PDP, for instance, they are not in government.
Yeah.
So people are leaving PDP. They are not leaving PDP because of what the APC represents. Am I correct? They are leaving because they have problem in their own party. Are we together now? They now want to join APC people.
ADC.
No, they want to join APC people who are also angry with their party.
Okay.
Angry with their party, primarily not necessarily because they disagree with the economic policy, but because
they are angry.
They are angry and disappointed in the allocation of resources, allocation of position. The merger of those who are angry in one political party and those who are disappointed in another political party, you want that to be my problem. I will not give you that. I will not give you that joy.
So what makes a political coalition credible or truly reformist in Nigeria of today?
Policy. Oh, we are going to reverse the economic policy that the government in power is pursuing. Number one, we are angry about the way they have sold public, assets. When we come back, we are going to recover those public assets and run them properly for the benefit of our people. Credibility. But you say, I am going to sell, but I don't like the way these people sell. Are you seeing the difference? The difference is not I'm not going to sell. The difference is that how they sell, they could have sold it better. That's not a policy conversation. Every political party has to show differentness. If you are opposition, you have to show me differentness. That differentness is not available. Do you understand what I'm saying? In the public conversations, in the documents that they have, ADC is not a new political party. It has an ideology. In fact, it has people who are elected into government already in the House of Representatives. Okay? What differentness? Because that's what you should pay attention to. We have made conversations in Nigeria to be about persons.
Okay.
It's always about persons. So I get angry and I leave my party. Then it becomes a conversation for the whole country for another 1 week that I left my political party.
Do you think the new coalition will be able to unseat the sitting president?
I'm not Nigerian.
From what you are saying, you are Nigerian.
I'm not Nigerian people. If they present a candidate that can, and policies that will resonate with Nigerians, not Nigerians who are still riding on the personality issue. When you are talking to me, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at what are you telling me. I don't know if you understand. If what you are telling me is not better than what I have, I don't have to worry about you. But if you present, and I know you have a track record also of, you know, being different. If today there are new kids on the block, but there are no new kids on the block. Everybody who is parading has been either governor, has been vice president, has been chairman of party in the last 25 years of our democratic experience. And the ones who were governor, the first thing is, did they create a Dubai in their state? Did they get allocations? While many of them who were in the dominant political party for 8 years, what truly changed in their own states? I don't know if you understand. Those are the things. So if Joy is coming now, I don't know you to have been a member of any political party. You can resonate with me because you are coming with fresh ideas. But I've known you for the past 25 years, hanging from one government to the other. And then because you are out of government, and then you now tell me that everything you people have done in the last 25 years, your hand no dey inside. Haba. So, in your own opinion, they might not be able to give the sitting president a good fight? I said if everything is conditional, 2027 is still far. Okay. If they bring up policies that can challenge what is, Nigerians are not foolish people. No matter what you say about us, we are very introspective, we think, and we see. Okay. We can give you all the, you know, but we see, we know. Okay. Then I'll ask you this. Should civil society remain neutral on this coalition or take a more active role in shaping their direction? There are civil society, there are different kinds of civil society. Okay. My kind of civil society work in election. And because I work in election and may be observing election, I am not going to take interest in the coalition. But there are civil society organizations who don't work in election, who work in governance. They are free, they are Nigerians, they can associate. The reason why I am trading cautiously is because at the end of the day, I might be observing the electoral process. And if I'm going to be observing the electoral process and I'm supporting coalition, I become an enemy of, because they will not see me as a neutral observer. Okay. Do you understand? Part of your credentials as an observer is that you are neutral, and that you don't belong to any of the sides. Okay. But if through commission or omission you are seen to have been romancing with, they can say it. Okay. They can say it to you and say, Eze is a supporter of this party. But they can say it with their mouth. Sure. But they know truly whether you are. Forget what they say. Sometimes when you meet them, they say, forget that one. I will just be talking and nobody say. Okay. Having said that, you received Gani Faremi's Integrity Award in 2024, I guess. Yes. And the MFR National Honor in 2025 this year. How have this actually influenced your advocacy activities? Especially with the ruling governor. You know, you just said that if you do this and these people, you are partisan here or whatever, it might look like you are. So now having gotten this one now. MFR is not their property. Your country can recognize you. Okay. Your country can recognize what you have. I'm not an accidental person. I came into the student union. I was vice president, National Affairs of NANS. I was detained for June 12th. I was expelled from the university. I returned to school through courts. Right? And I have been on this trajectory since that time till today. So the people who get this award, what have they done for the country? Do you understand what I'm saying? What really have they done for the country? So those who make all those kind of analysis about if they gave you award, they did not give me award as a reward. There's no monetary part of it. It is to say we recognize the work that you have done. Okay? People pay money to receive that award. I don't know how, when, where. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just got recognized, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy to be recognized by my country. The other award, the Ganifa Army Award, I have no relationship with the people who drive the award.
Okay.
It's also recognition of the work that I have done. Do you understand? And there are people who come to me and say, we want to recognize you, we want you to pay for so and so for the blah blah blah. You won't pay for recognition. Okay.
Then looking back, what is your proudest contribution to democratic development, and what drives you forward?
One of my biggest contributions is the ability to own my truth, irrespective of whose ox is God. My own truth.
Yes. Then looking ahead, what gives you hope for Nigerian democracy?
What gives me hope is the changes that we are making, the incremental changes that are taking place.
Okay.
And it's a result of our work, including you as media and civil society. Our contributions have elevated democracy to the point where today people can look back and say, those of us who were using temporary voters card, today now we have something called permanent voters card, and very soon we will eliminate that. We will now be going through just you appear at the polling unit, they take your biometrics, and then you vote and leave.
If you could leave this generation with one lasting message on leadership and citizenship, what will it be?
Don't be in a hurry. Serve apprenticeship. If you want to learn wisdom, carry the bags of the old and sit in their meetings. Help them carry their bags and their stool and sit in their meetings and hear them. Don't think that you can become an elder just because you romance with them or you move around with them. Sit with them. You have a generation that is microwave. It's a microwave generation. They like put it in, bring it out. They have criminal self-entitlement from child.
Thank you
As
so
we give
much.
back to them, we give them nursery feedings. We take them to school in cars. And then they grow up with that feeling that they don't owe society anything. That has to change.
Thank you so much for coming on this show, Ezenwa Nwagwu. You are so welcome, and we will be expecting to have you another time. Thank you for the insight and all you've taught us today. Thank you so much. What a conversation we just had with Mr. Ezenwa Nwagwu. His insight reminds us that leadership is not defined by the power one holds, but by the principles one upholds. Whether we are reflecting on the life and legacy of President Buhari or critically examining today's political coalitions, one thing remains clear: Nigeria's future depends on informed citizens, courageous voices, and leaders who truly serve with integrity. Well, that's all we can take on this week's episode of Generations Gist with Joy. To you watching at home, thank you for being part of this vital conversation. History always speaks, but only those willing to listen and learn. Let's build the Nigeria we desire, with one voice, one choice, and one generation at a time. Remember, your generation is your identity. And don't forget, be your brother's keeper. For more information about the show or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities, please contact us at generationsgistwithjoy@gmail.com. And don't forget to connect with us on all our social media platforms for the latest updates and behind-the-scene content. Join us next week for another insightful episode. Until then, keep the gist going and stay inspired. I am Joy Onu. See you next week.